Yeah, he's punching him. He's punching him. Look.
Muncie police went viral this weekend after this video spread across Facebook. Tonight on NewsLink Indiana, we sat down with the chief to talk about this controversial video and what is next for the department.
And Trump's lawyer is back in headlines tonight after the FBI paid him a visit. We've got the newest information coming up.
After snow this morning, yet another cold night for central Indiana, but there's a warm-up on the way. I'll let you know when, coming up in the full forecast.
From Ball State Unified Media, this is NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us. I'm Emerson Lehman.
And I'm Brittany Ehrman. Welcome to NewsLink Indiana. We begin tonight with breaking news out of Michigan. According to the Indy Star, 3 Michigan State basketball players raped a woman 1 week after their 2015 Final Four loss to Duke. A federal lawsuit filed today accuses the university of persuading the woman to not report the incident.
The woman's lawyer says she never reported the incident to police, but did tell a counselor at MSU's counseling center. The center reportedly failed to properly advise the woman and implied it would be in her best interest not to report the incident to police. This is the latest scandal at the university following the Larry Nassar trial and 2 other allegations against MSU athletics.
And the Muncie Police Department is in the spotlight tonight after a controversial video has spread on Facebook.
NewsLink Indiana's Jake Thomas spoke to the police chief today to get the latest on the situation. Jake.
In today's digital age, it does not take long for a video to go viral, especially when it comes to law enforcement. Over the weekend, Muncie Police Department became a part of a viral video.
Who just hit him?
From the looks of a video that was posted on Facebook with more than 458,000 views, it seems that a Muncie police officer is punching a man several times while he is on the ground. Muncie Police Chief Joe Winkle said what was captured on video was the very end of what happened in the situation.
Once he gets to the ground, he won't get on his stomach to be handcuffed. They can't get him on his stomach, and then he's on one of his arms. He won't give him the right arm. So this goes on for pretty much what you saw in the video.
Those strikes that the officer landed on a suspect were done correctly, according to Chief Winkle.
The difference between, I think, the video that was on Facebook and what we see on our body cams, which are right there close, is all the strikes were to this muscle and nerve right here. They weren't to the head or the face. Those strikes were hitting this nerve, or trying to hit this nerve to deaden this arm so they could get it out from under him.
Perception played a large part as to why the video on Facebook went viral.
So I guess what I would say is it looked worse than it really actually was.
Body camera footage of this incident is available for the public to see upon request and after paying a fee required by the state. In the newsroom, Jay Thomas, NewsLink Indiana, back to you at the desk.
The FBI raided the office of President Trump's personal lawyer this morning. Michael Cohen's attorney, Stephen Ryan, says agents seized privileged communications between Cohen and his clients. Ryan says the raid stemmed partially from a referral by special counsel Robert Mueller. The FBI also seized communications between Trump and Cohen. The president called the raids disgraceful and says the investigation is an attack on our country. The Wall Street Journal reports agents also raided Cohen's home as a part of the investigation.
Trump's 2016 Indiana campaign leaders are endorsing Todd Rokita in the upcoming Republican Senate primary. Chairman Rex Early and Vice Chairman Tony Samuel made the announcement today. The two criticized his rivals for not doing enough to support Trump in 2016 and say Rokita wholeheartedly supported Trump. But during the presidential primary, Rokita backed Marco Rubio and called Trump vulgar. Rokita has fully embraced Trump voters since launching his campaign. The May 8th primary will decide who faces Democrat Joe Donnelly. And with the Indiana primaries less than a month away, Ball State students are campaigning for their favorite politicians. Ball State College Republicans invited a popular political commentator and attorney to make sense of this election year. NewsLink Indiana's Vanessa Brooks was there.
Thursday, Ball State students and Muncie residents gathered to hear Abdul Hakim Shabazz share his take on the state of Indiana's primaries. Although Donald Trump won Indiana by nearly 20% in 2016, Shabazz says that the Democratic Senator Joe Donnelly still has a chance to win come November for one major reason.
A lot of people voted for Donald Trump, particularly in the Republican primary, had never voted in a Republican primary before. They just liked Donald Trump. So I tell people it's a fallacy to assume that every Trump voter is a Republican, because they like Donald Trump.
With new campaign ads and polls coming out almost daily, Ball State College of Republicans chairman and field coordinator for Jonathan Lamb for Congress, Isaac Miller, says that he is glad that Shabazz could come and talk to his group, giving them a little bit more perspective on the current primary race.
I loved hearing his opinion on the races, the Senate race and the congressional races. He's a smart guy. He knows what he's talking about.
I think Grant wins the 6th, and I really do think today, because no one's really kind of started, really, the ground game hasn't really kicked in, I think Mike, just because of name ID Indiana on television.
Although Shabazz's reasoning was based off of 2 recent polls, not everyone, including Connor Ortman, thinks that Mike Braun is going to win the primary.
I mean, I don't necessarily agree with what you said about Mike Braun winning the elections. I think Luke Messer has a much better ground game than Mike Braun.
In Muncie, Vanessa Brooks, NewsLink, Indiana.
The Ball State College Republicans meet every Thursday night at 7 in the Letterman Building, and all meetings are open to the public. And now, Emerson, I have to say, with the weather today, with it being so much snow and it was cold, I can't say it was the easiest to get out and vote.
You know, just when I think we're in the clear with all this snow, it shows up again. Joe, give me some good news, man. Give me some good news.
Yeah, you know, we woke up to that snow this morning, much to the dismay of many people in central Indiana. Here on our time lapse, you can still see some of that snow on the rooftops. Unfortunately, this just changed forward an hour, so we lost some of that snow that was around today. But the flakes flew a little bit throughout the day today. Still have some flakes on radar tonight. Very light out there, though. This is not causing any sort of accumulation or any sort of visibility loss. This is just associated with just a few showers up to the north off of Lake Michigan, just stemming their way into central Indiana. The good news is we're going to get a break from this wintry weather. Unfortunately, though, not yet. Still another cold night in store, and it feels much colder than even the air temperature. Wind chills in the mid-30s, 33 in Kokomo, 37 in Lafayette. Feels like 34 in Indianapolis. So you want to grab that coat if you head out the door tonight. You're definitely going to want to grab the coat if you head out tomorrow morning. We'll break down how long the cold air will stick around. We'll talk about a warm-up on the way and some rain chances in the forecast for you. We'll have that coming up in the forecast later. Back to you guys. Emerson?
All right, Joe, thanks. Looking forward to it. Burger chain Five Guys has taken a step toward opening a location in Muncie. The franchise has confirmed plans to bring the restaurant to a vacant location on West Bethel Avenue next to Pizza Hut. The building was previously home to a tanning salon and has been empty for over a year. The company announced plans last year to put a Five Guys on North Wheeling Avenue, but withdrew that proposal due to problems acquiring land at the site. The Metropolitan Board of Zoning Appeals will hear the application for the Five Guys location next week.
And more news on the business front. Bargain outlet store Ollie's has chosen a spot for its Muncie location. The Pennsylvania-based company has announced plans to move into that building on West Clara Lane, formerly occupied by H.H. Gregg. Ollie's vice president told the Star Press the company plans to move into the building in mid-July and open in late August. The retailer sells closeout items including books, hardware, and non-perishable food. And the company intends to hire up 50 associates for that Muncie store.
Well, some Ball State students spent Saturday in the labs mentoring the next generation's Einsteins.
And plus, we'll take a dive into some different cultures, that and more when we come back.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. An update on a story we brought you Thursday. One of the dogs removed from a home described as deplorable and eaten last week has died. Diesel, one of 2 pit bulls rescued, died at a foster home. Muncie Animal Care and Services posted the news on Facebook this morning. Diesel likely died from organ failure due to neglect and abuse. The other dog rescued is still in foster care recovering from injuries. Well, transitioning to some happier news on campus, the Bureau of Labor Statistics says there is a need for approximately 1 million more STEM professionals to enter the workforce.
With this need, NewsLink Indiana's Esther Bauer explores how one Ball State club is hoping to spark an interest in science for future generations.
It was a lab fit for a scientist. From experiments to demonstrations, these tiny Einsteins got to test out their skills at Science Day, a free event put on by Ball State student affiliates of the American Chemical Society, all in hopes of sparking an interest in science.
It opens their mind and they can see deeper into things and think more critically about why things matter, why they are being told to do these things.
Jesse Ty brought his son Sebastian to the event and says starting young is the best way to go.
If they get a love for it early, that they will fall in love with it, and hopefully some of them will be scientists someday.
While Sebastian may not know if he's going to be a scientist just yet, he's figured out that science is more than just reading and research.
Why do you think science is fun? Because it has lots of kind of features.
By showing kids the entertaining elements of science, Watson hopes to see more young ones tackle the subject and find purpose behind the goggles. In Muncie, Esther Bauer, NewsLink, Indiana.
Science Day takes place annually, and the club is always looking for volunteers to help out with the event.
Well, today is the print date for the spring 2018 edition of Ball Bearings magazine. The magazine dives into cultures and subcultures.
And joining us now is Ball Bearings senior editor Taylor Hone. And Taylor, you wrote the cover for this issue. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the cover story called Where We Find Ourselves focuses on Mackenzie Price, a Ball State alumna who graduated last May. She was dating Espen, a man from Norway who was a state exchange student in high school. For 4 years before she decided to move to Norway after graduation. She felt like that was the place she needed to be.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about the overall issue in this.
Yeah, so the overall magazine this semester talks about cultures and subcultures, so the groups we belong into and how they impact our lives.
And besides your cover story, as you mentioned, what else can we look forward to in this edition?
There are a ton of great stories in this edition. One I'm really excited for is Thank You God for Making Me Gay and Catholic, which focuses on a man who is gay and Catholic and how he faces struggles within the church.
All right, well, Taylor, thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to reading an edition myself. And you can grab them anywhere. You can read them online or grab a copy around campus.
All right, and back to that weather. What's coming up in Weather Joe?
Another cold night in store for us here in central Indiana. Temperatures drop down into the mid-20s tonight, but there's a warm-up on the way. I'll let you know when it's coming after the break. Stay tuned.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. So Joe and Emerson, I think I speak for everyone when I say, where are the spring temperatures?
We've had snow. It's going to warm up a little bit, but then you say it's going to get cold again.
Yeah, it is going to get cold again, but not before we will get another taste of spring, a little bit more than we got back in February. It's been since February, since we've been in the 70s. We will actually find ourselves in the 70s later this week, but we still have a little bit of wintry weather around, still some cooler temperatures to kick off the start of the forecast, so let's take it through it right here. Right now, a look at the local radar, just seeing some light flurries pushing through the area. These are very light in nature. Honestly, some of this activity is not even making its way all the way to the ground. This is all associated with the lake effect event up to the northwest, just seeing some of these showers making their way into central Indiana, not accumulating at all, not having any impacts on your visibility out there tonight. I think we're done with that wintry weather for a while, but the cool temps stick around for at least a little bit longer. We are pretty cold right now, 38 degrees here in Muncie, 37 in Kokomo and Lafayette, 39 in Indianapolis, so you're headed out the door tonight. Grab that heavier coat. You're going to want it, especially if you head out late in the night tonight. We're going to drop all the way down to 26 degrees. We'll have cloudy skies out there. Again, those brief snow showers out there will likely be very little in terms of impact. But again, just a very cold night out there. Cold again tomorrow morning, too. The kids are out on the bus stop. Bundle them up. 27 degrees at 7 a.m. tomorrow. We warm up into the mid-40s, though. We will see abundant sunshine throughout much of the day tomorrow. Maybe just a few clouds around early in the day, which should push out. Now let's talk about how long these cool temperatures stick around. After tomorrow, the cool air mass above starts to push off to the north and east. This is Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Going into your Thursday, we'll start to see warm air rising from the south. We're talking temperatures in the 70s for your Thursday and Friday, so definitely going to be nice to experience some more spring-like temperatures, but it won't last too long. We'll see a cold front push through here, and we'll see more cold air pushing in behind for your Sunday and into the start of next week. So let's look at that in terms of our 5-day temperature trend. Wednesday, 60 degrees, right back on average for where we should be this time of the year. Thursday, we're up to 70, up to 73 for Friday, and then as that cold front passes during the day on Saturday, we'll see temperatures back down a bit to 66 degrees. Now, with the temperatures that are going to be warming, the nice thing that's been a change from what we've been experiencing lately is we're not going to have much in terms of precipitation. We'll be very dry through the next 3 days. We'll start to see our next system move in here late in the day on Friday, most likely impacting your early portions of your Saturday, and this could be quite heavy. Let's time that out here on Precision Cast. So late Friday night, early in the day on Saturday, like we're talking 2 or 3 a.m., we'll start to see this line of showers and thunderstorms building out to the west. That will progress into central Indiana as we move through the early morning hours Saturday. So if you have plans Saturday morning, likely going to be soggy. I don't think that we're expecting too much in terms of thunderstorms yet. Some of the parameters that we're watching are still kind of bouncing around on the models. We'll have to continue to watch it, so stay tuned here to NewsLink tomorrow night and Thursday night for the latest on this rainfall. That pushes out later in the day on Sunday and brings cooler temperatures right back in. So let's wrap all that into our 7-day forecast here. Wednesday, I think, is going to be the nicest day of the week, 60 degrees and sunny. We'll be warmer Thursday and Friday, but we're going to see some heavier wind gusts move in ahead of the next system, which brings thunderstorm chances to the region. Thunderstorms here for Saturday, 66 degrees, and then look at that, 51 degrees with showers for Sunday, and then a cool start to next week, 42 degrees for Monday with cloudy skies. So a brief taste of spring. I think it's much welcome for us here. Unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with at least another hit of some cooler temperatures next week.
A brief taste, but 70 degrees. I'm not going to complain about that. We'll take what we can get.
I agree. And the nice thing is usually this time of year we get these nice big warm-ups, but then it's followed by rain. The nice thing is, it's going to be rather quick. It's going to be dry, and then it's going to move on.
Joe, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
All right, looking forward to it. All right, and Jeremy, what can we look for in sports?
All right, thanks, guys. It's all baseball tonight. We're going to find out which Ball State player was able to stand out over the weekend and which local high school team was able to win in walk-off fashion. Find out who next.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore. So you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jeremy Masukovich with sports. For the Ball State baseball team, their 2-game skid extended to 4 games after losing 2 one-run games to Eastern Michigan. Then, freshman Dre Jameson pitched a gem in the series finale to help the Cardinals snap that losing streak. Jameson pitched a complete game shutout against the Eagles as Ball State went on to win 5-0. The dominant performance earned Jameson MAC Pitcher of the Week honors, the second Ball State pitcher to receive the award. In his 9 innings of work, the freshman only gave up 5 hits while striking out 10 Eastern Michigan hitters. After the shutout, Jameson has now pitched 16 consecutive innings without allowing a single run. Jameson and the Cardinals head to West Lafayette tomorrow to take on Purdue. The first pitch is set for 6 p.m. Area high schools were back on the baseball diamond as well this evening. We begin tonight with the Westdale Warriors. The Warriors won their first game of the season last Thursday, but fell tonight to Shenandoah High School's 3-6. Westdale struggled to get the bats swinging in the early innings, but a few big plays in the field held the Raiders to limited runs. Senior first baseman Cody Smith had crucial outs at the bag, including this close call at the end of the first. The Warriors look to advance to 2-1 on the season as they travel to Delta High School tomorrow night. Over at Muncie Central, the Bearcats were taking on Winchester Community in their 3rd game of the season. In the 4th inning, Muncie Central trailed 3-1, but to the Falcons, the Bearcats weren't done. They clawed their way back in the 5th inning, scoring 2 runs to even it all up at 3. After both teams were held scoreless in the 6th inning, Ryan Johnson had the chance to play hero in the bottom of the 7th, and he came through. With 2 outs, Johnson laced a 2-out single into center to score Zach Garrett from second base, sealing the victory in walk-off fashion. NewsLink's Indiana Samantha Johnson caught up with Johnson after the game.
So I was walking up to the plate, felt kind of nervous, but when we're up there, first pitch strike, I know I was going to get a hit, so I relaxed up there. After that, hit over the shortstop's head, and we won.
The Bearcats are on the road tomorrow as they head to Richmond to take on the Red Devils. Some MLB teams weren't as fortunate to play today as the local high school teams. Both Chicago teams had to deal with heavy snowfall, but one got to the field cleared in time to play. The White Sox had a 1:10 game against the Tampa Bay Rays that was in jeopardy of being postponed. Crews worked nonstop from 9 in the morning until game time, clearing an estimated 175 tons of snow from the field. The White Sox started their game only 20 minutes behind schedule. The Cubs, however, had to postpone their home opener until tomorrow, where they will take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. First pitch is scheduled for 2:20 p.m. It can be difficult to predict what the weather will bring for MLB baseball in the spring. Thankfully, the local teams were able to provide an exciting day of baseball nonetheless.
And you know, I'm glad that we're not the only ones that are being affected by this snow and not enjoying it as much, because that's incredible, the amount of snow that they had to clear off that field.
Absolutely.
All right, well, coming up, Jeremy, thank you very much. Cardi B dropped 2 big announcements this weekend, her album and another bombshell. That's next.
And one documentary is looking at a heavy topic in a comedy show. Stay right there, trending is next.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Terrence Fullilove joins us with what is trending now. So Terrence, what is the first topic?
Well, Cardi B really shared some really big news aside from the release of her debut album. On the latest episode of Saturday Night Live, the rapper performed her new single, Be Careful, from her newly released album, Invasion of Privacy. Viewers were able to see her in an all-white dress that instantly revealed her unexpected but expected baby bump. Now, guys, rumors were going around saying that she was pregnant back in February, and she was not declining nor accepting these rumors. But now she has finally revealed that she is free to show the baby bump.
That's a way to tell people, you know, on America's stage. That's pretty good for her.
Yeah, a lot of success for her this year for sure. So what about that next story?
The next story, The Simpsons TV show is in a bit of a hot water from the latest episodes. They address the criticism of Apu, the Indian American Simpsons character. Comedian Hari Kondabolu, who made a documentary called The Problem with Apu, addressing the negative stereotypes of the character, tweeted that he found the response to be quite sad. And CNN's Wakanda Kamubel tweeted The Simpsons 1989 to 2018, hashtag rest in peace. So we hope people can see the bright things about it.
Absolutely. So yeah, it seems like they're in hot water tonight, but thank you so much, Terrence. And let's take a last look at weather.
Cold tonight, very cold tonight. You're going to want the coat as you head out the door tomorrow. Wednesday looks to be a beautiful day. Take advantage of it before we will see warmer temperatures, but very windy conditions for the rest of the week. thunderstorms here for Saturday. Keep it tuned here. Tomorrow night and Thursday night, we'll have more updates on the timing of this rain. And then look at that, cooler temperatures back in place to start next week.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. And that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 right here on Cardinal Vision or online at ballstatedaily.com.
And be sure to go ahead and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.
You've been watching NewsLink Indiana in high definition.